Thought I'd dig deep back into American politics, the era that the Postman is talking about, just to show you a typical campaign ad from, I think, 1980 election between Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter.
Congressman, I think we're running out of gas.
It's not as if the Democrat Congress didn't have a warning. The last 3 presidents warned them.
Congressman, we are running out of gas.
But the Democrats, who have controlled Congress for 25 years, ignored them. They just went blindly down the road.
Hey, we're out of gas!
The Democrats are out of gas. Vote Republican for a change.
I wanted to share that with you. That's very typical of the politics of 35, 40 years ago. It's just, a throwaway thing. And in a way, doesn't it seem quaint, given the viciousness of the kind of rhetoric that we're exposed to through the internet when it comes to politics? There's all sorts of subtle things there. The Democrats are running out of gas. Yeah, man, they used up all the gas. We need a change. I mean, it's just very typical of, I think, the kind of thing that Postman was talking about. If we look a little bit at what he says here in the latter half of the book, in America, everyone is entitled to an opinion. But these are opinions of a quite different order from 18th or 19th century opinions. It is probably more accurate to call them emotions rather than opinions. What is happening here is that television is altering the meaning of being informed by creating a species of information that might properly be called disinformation. Disinformation does not mean false information. It means misleading information, misplaced, irrelevant, fragmented, or superficial information that creates the illusion of knowing something, but which in fact leads one away from knowing. Well, I mean, let's just sort of extrapolate or, think about that commercial. Somebody who's perhaps not terribly well informed about politics, but, maintains enough interest to vote or be influenced in some way, sees that. And what do you remember from that? Well, first of all, it's very well done little commercial, little comedy with these 2 men in the front seat of a gas guzzling car, old style American gas guzzler. What do you remember? Well, the Democrats are running out of gas. Right, it's a great catchphrase. Not only are they wasting, there was a big gas crisis, a series of them in the 70s, where there was an energy crisis, and we have for the first time become dependent on foreign oil, and there was a big part of 70s politics was the price of gasoline, which was going up at various points. But it also gets across the idea that the Democrats have been in control too long. They're tired. They're corrupt. They're inept. They're not paying attention. So a lot of really powerful messages are put in that silly little commercial, which is meant to be silly, but also to be memorable. So a person may think that they've been informed. They've got something to remember. They have images of, the typical Democrat. That guy was really a parody of the Democratic leader Tip O'Neill of the time. Democrats are out of touch. The Democrats are silly. They're tired. We need change. All these things are packed into that little message. Very powerful thing. But the person, of course, who is influenced by it has no idea whether these things are true. Has no idea whether, they're really of the context of the history. It has no command of facts. And it's really not encouraged. Obviously, it's a commercial meant to get people to vote a certain way, not encouraged to think critically or to be skeptical or to be perplexed, as he says later about education. It's just a sort of typical example, maybe, of the kind of thing that Postman is talking about. The television encourages this sort of illusion that we are informed, that we know something, when we really don't.